Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Maya here. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I want to do a short video about what to expect at Heaven's Gate. I'm currently doing a series about Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain because I want to do this once and for all, because I did a video 10 months ago and another one for 11 months ago, another one for 8 months ago, and I still get questions to date. So I want to answer all those questions in this series so that you get to understand what to expect there. So I'm going to be doing a video about what to expect there, what happens there, and I don't know whether I'll do even a review of the place in this video because I feel like that's the same thing. So number one, what to expect there is that you're going to find people who are there to seek God's face. Number one is that you're going to find people who are there to seek God's face. That's the main thing. That's the first people you are supposed to expect to find there. So when you get there, let's start from the people who are in Nairobi because that is where I come from. You can board the best cars or the best vehicles to use to go there are the Prestige. I think the owner of Prestige House shares there or anything. I don't know. Well, he's really trust that place because there is even an office for Prestige there. Yeah, there's like a monument where you book the vehicles to go back and everything. So Prestige I found at Odeon. There's two streets from after the Odeon building. I don't know what that street is called. I'm going to check tomorrow because tomorrow is Sunday and I'll pass in town going to church. I will check the name of that street where you find Prestige cars. So the Prestige cars are going to drop you at Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain. If you use any other car that goes to Nakuru, you are going to be dropped at the highway and you are going to take a motorbike that is going to take you to the prayer mountain, or you can walk. I see people walk, but it is not a short distance. You guys, it is not a short distance. So the best vehicles to use to go there is Prestige. And when you get there, the first thing that happens is you get checked for any food items or anything that is not prohibited there. It is going to be corrected at the gate. It is so funny that every time I go there at the checkup place, I always find a picnic basket with food. So I'm like, do people think that Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain, it's a picnic site? Because how can you carry a whole picnic basket with food? Okay, I don't know. Or maybe, okay, I don't know. Because I don't think that is for the day scholars. There are people who go there on a daily basis, people who live around that place, I guess, or people who are from Nakuru. They go there, pray, and then in the evening, they go out. When you want to use those gardens, it is only 50 bob. So if you're around Nakuru or Gilgil, Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain is around Nairobi, Nakuru highway, and at Gilgil. It is nearer to Gilgil than even Naivasha and everywhere else. So if you're around that place, you can always go there on a daily basis, or maybe 1, 2, 3 days. You just pay 50 bob and access the prayer grounds where you can pray, and then in the evening you just check out and go. You are given a tag to show that you're just a visitor or you are just a day scholar. So I don't think those people are the ones who come with the food, because why should you carry food to go in a prayer mountain and you know you're going there to pray? I don't know. So I don't know why people carry food when you are going there, but again, if you don't know, you don't know, and you cannot be charged for not knowing. Okay. So you can't carry anything that is food stuff, including sodas. There are people who try this trick of getting a Sprite or Stoney in a water bottle. You guys, you're going to be caught. And again, why do you have to do that? And you know it is against the rules of that mountain. So you can't carry any food stuff. The only food stuff you can carry is the beverage condiments like tea, like you can't carry tea leaves. Okay, can you? I think. The only thing that is food stuff that you can carry is sugar, coffee, drinking chocolate, honey, all those. But if you have medicine, you have to surrender them. and then they are going to, I think there's a dispensary at this point. I think there's a dispensary. I know in the previous video I said that I don't think there's a dispensary, but when you are going for the orientation, which is the next thing you do after the check-in stage, when you get there, you get there are two tents where you're going to get somewhere for checking in or checking out. When you are checking out, you also need to check out at one of those two tents. But one of the tents, I think it's for men, and the other one for women. I don't know. I've never gotten there around the same time with a gentleman, so I don't know whether they use the same tent for check-in or maybe there is a different one for men. But there's also a place that you can put your bags maybe on the last day and you want to still continue with prayers until evening, because you have to check out by 9:30. There's a place you can put your bags and go on with the prayers until evening, and then you go out or you go home. So after the checking up of the things that you have, you then go for orientation. This is why you are told everything about Heaven's Gate. Like, you are oriented about Heaven's Gate, the do's, the don'ts. And some of the do's and the don'ts that you are told there is that you are not supposed to take videos in the church halls. I know there's a video I recorded. I didn't know. Like, I don't know. Did I know? I don't think so. But I never recorded anybody's face. So you're not supposed to record in the prayer rooms when there are prayers going on. You're also not supposed to wear anything that is revealing a lot about your body. It should not be too tight. It should not be short, and it should not be see-through. Like, you have to wear very decent dressing when you are there. For ladies, for men, you're not supposed to wear shorts. You're supposed to walk around in vests. You have to be decent the whole time you're there. Another thing that you should not do, you should not let anybody pray for you. There are people there in every prayer mountain. There are those people who just go there for their own issues. Like, they lie to you. Maybe they have seen whatever. In Heaven's Gate, I have never heard of them. I have heard of them in Katoreni, and I'm not even against Katoreni, because I think even in Heaven's Gate, it's only that you have not known about it. Maybe there have been those people. You are told that you should not let anybody pray for you or put their hands on you. Even the priests and the preachers who preach on the podium or on the altar in the Shiro hall, you're not supposed to be laid hands on by anybody you don't know. Any other thing that you are not supposed to do? Am I forgetting? I think I should have written these things down before I started this video, but I forgot. So I'm just brainstorming what I have ever had. In case I remember anything that you're not supposed to do or do along as I do this video, I'm going to tell you. So the next thing that you are told, the next thing that happens after now the orientation. Now after the orientation, you know everything about the Heaven's Gate. And then in the orientation, you're also told the times for the fellowships. You're always supposed to be in the hall for morning devotion and evening devotion. Lunch hours, it's not a must, because you might be in the prayer mountain or prayer grounds doing your prayers, or maybe you're resting in the room, but it is always advisable to go for those sessions in the Shiro Hall. Shiro Hall is the biggest. Is it Shiro Hall? I don't know. It's the biggest hall. You're going to see it. You cannot even miss out on it. It's so big and it is so cute. You guys, that hall is cute. It is prettier than most of our houses and most of our churches. So they really put a lot of work in it. So in the morning, you're supposed to be there by 5 a.m. No, 5:30. Yeah, for the tea. And then in the morning, you take your tea after the fellowship. That is 6:30. The prayers start at 5:30. If I'm wrong, you can always tell me or correct me in the comment section, because yeah, you can just correct me. And then in the afternoon, there is lunch hour. And in the evening, there is evening service that you're supposed to be there. Most of the times during the lunch hour, they put on a screen. There's a very big screen in that hall, and you see whatever is happening in the church, Nakuru church. That is the lunch hour you're going to see. Okay, that is what happens in the lunch hour. That's why it is not a must for you to go there, but it is good if you are available or around the hall. You can always go for the lunch hour session, and you get a time to pray with other people. So yeah. And then another thing, after orientation, now you go to register. Okay, because in the orientation, if you feel like you can't be able to follow those rules, you can always go back, my friend. If those people who don't follow rules, you can always go back after the orientation. But I know you are there because you're obedient, so let's go to the registering office. So when you go to register, you need your identity card and some money, maybe M-Pesa or cash. They take both, but mostly if you have M-Pesa, it would be better, because I think it's only fair, because yeah, I think that's good for me. There's a lady I went with the last time I was there last week, and she told me that she doesn't carry her SIM card. People are so disciplined, you guys. That lady told me that she never carries her. People are so disciplined. Like, I thought I'm different, but not to that extent. This girl, we only met at when you were boarding the matatu in Nairobi, and she told me that she never carries a SIM card when she's going there, because she can always get distracted with WhatsApp and everything, and she will get a lot of calls. Okay, personally, I find it, you can always put on flight mode or avoid getting data, but she prefers not going with her SIM card. She only carries her phone. So I was wondering, why should you carry a phone without a SIM card? Unless you want to record. Okay, maybe. So in case you're not carrying a SIM card, or you want to carry money, it's okay. You can also pay with your card. It is it's an option that you get there. So you can pay in any way. Okay. So there is no like you can't carry M-Pesa, you can't carry cash, or you can't pay with M-Pesa. No, you can always pay with any way you want. So after registering, you get the room number that you are going to go to. After you choose the rooms, in the previous video I talked about the different rooms that are there. The cheapest is 200, that is the hall, and the most expensive is 700, that is for one person. And in case you go there and you're a couple or you have kids, you can't sleep with your man or your wife in the same room, as much as you have a marriage certificate, even if you're how many years married. Even if you are a bishop and your wife is a reverend, you can't share a room at Heaven's Gate with your wife or your husband. Okay? Just know that before you go. You can't go there with your boyfriend and say that you're going to share a room. It doesn't happen. Unless you go with your kids, you can share a room with your kids. Okay? Yeah, so, but it's only one kid that you can share a bed with. The other one is going to get an extra bed. So know that before you go there. Another thing, now after getting the room numbers, you get a receipt that you're going to use when you are there, because if you go to the rooms that have the card, you open the rooms with the card, you need to activate that card every 2 p.m. because there are people who will be going home in that room, and the card is always reactivated so that the people who go, they can't access the room after they have checked out. Okay, I think that's so good because they control theft, but I don't think there's somebody who will go to a prayer mountain to steal it. But anyway, don't know. So that receipt, you need it when you're going to reactivate your card to show that you still have days there. So don't lose your receipt after you get it from the reception. So after the reception, now you go to the desk, a tent outside there, where you get directed to your rooms. If it is your first time there, you might not know those blocks and whatever. So you go there, and there's a very friendly lady there who is going to direct you to wherever you're supposed to go. And sometimes I feel for that lady, although I think she gets help. But every time I go there, I find that she's the one who is taking people to their rooms. So sometimes I feel for her, like she doesn't get tired. All these people, they go through your hands, and you have to take them to their respective rooms. But anyway, I think that's her job, and maybe she gets help. There are also room stewards that can help you to go around those places. But in case you go to the new blocks, she only tells you, go to that block, A, B, C, or D, second floor, this room, and it is very easy. But now for the dormitories and other rooms, she have to take you there because that place is huge and there are so many rooms. When I say many, I mean many. There are so many rooms. So we might need help to go around that place. So after that, you get allocated your room. You can just go in your room. You're going to find your bed sheets and a blanket on top of your bed. You make your bed and then you decide whether you're going to rest, whether you're going to shower. Whatever you do after that, it is none of their business. If you feel like you just wanted somewhere peaceful that you can go and sleep, my friend, it's a free world, but it is always advisable to attend the morning devotion and the evening devotion. Yeah, and I don't think you just left your house to go and sleep somewhere. You could have gone to a hotel. So when you get there, just refresh, rest a bit, because like the last time I was there, I had a headache when I got there. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I got a headache and I got there. I just rested, I just showered, took some water, and had a 45 minutes nap. And I woke up feeling better. In the long run, I had to take some medicine because it got worse. I don't know why, but that's the whole process about it. And then after that, for the days you are going to be there, you're going to be getting tea in the morning, tea in the evening, and I'm going to tell you about the teas that are there. There is every type of tea that you can think of in this country, not in this world. So there is tea with milk, the normal tea with milk at home. And if you don't like milk, like me, that is not the best option to go for because they do put a lot of milk. Like, they are so generous with the milk in the tea. It's like a hotel, you guys. They are generous with the tea in the milk. I think they know that's the only source of energy you get when you're there. So tea with milk, if you are maybe somebody like me, when I have not eaten, I can't take like milk, you can always go for drinking chocolate. There is white chocolate or there is a black chocolate that is just water and chocolate and sugar, but there is also sugarless chocolate. You can also go for the white chocolate. It is so sweet. I'm not a fan of chocolate with milk. I learned about it when I was there. The first time I went there, that's the first time I took chocolate with milk, and it is so sweet because they are generous with the sugar. You guys, they are generous with the sugar. They're generous with the milk. Sometimes I wonder whether the small money we pay there is enough to cater for all the people who work there and also for that milk and that sugar. You guys, I don't know. I don't know because the tea there is so good. It's so thick. There is also coffee. I don't know whether there is white coffee, but I know of black coffee and coffee without sugar. There is tea without sugar. There is it called tea? In Kikuyu we call it ndufia. Ndufia is without sugar. Turungi is the one with just water and tea leaves and sugar, and there is also the one without sugar. I don't know how you cannot how you can take tea without sugar and milk. Okay, there are all those types of tea, but the last time I was there, this time I don't know what was happening. There are some teas that they were not available. There was no coffee, was not available for like 2 days when I was there. And another thing that I learned this time is that you don't like it's not you don't get a chance like to fetch that tea or whatever and put it in your flask. It's only when it remains. I know there's a time I told you that you can carry a thermos and get as much tea as you need, but sometimes the people get fluctuated. Sometimes there are so many people checking out and there is more tea because now they were cooking for the people who were there, and then sometimes so many people come in that they have budgeted, so you find that tea is not enough for everybody, so they start pimaring, they start measuring, um, like so that everybody can get. So tomorrow, today you might find there is enough tea for you to carry in the thermos. Tomorrow there might not be, and you're not supposed to be angry because it's only a privilege that you get as much tea as you need in the morning and in the evening. During the day there is no tea. You just get hot water from the taps, and you can go and make your own tea. Okay. So what else you're supposed to expect from there? There's a canteen where you can buy whatever you forgot home. I did a video, or the last video I did, I talked about everything that is sold in that canteen. So you would want to get the link on the pinned comment and go back to that video and check whatever is sold in that canteen. Because I know somebody might say, I won't carry out of things because I'm going to find it there, and you find that whatever you left at home is not available there. Yeah. So, but one major thing that they sell in the canteen is the books, like books written by Apostle John William Kimani, who is the founder of the Prayer Mountain. And another thing I forgot to say in that previous video is that you only pay with the cash, so you have to withdraw if you want to buy anything at the canteen. So it is always advisable for you to carry some cash if you don't want those transactions, because there's not pay bill, there's no till. You only withdraw and pay with cash in the canteen. But when you're registering for the rooms, you can pay with anything, M-Pesa, credit card, or cash. So another thing that you're supposed to expect at Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain is that on the day you are going to check out, you need to get out of the room by 9:30 so that the room stewards can correct the linen and put some new one or fresh one for the next person who's going to come in. You always have advised, I don't know whether about I don't know whether it happens in all the blocks, but those new blocks, you are told to remove the bed sheets and put them outside the room so that they can just come and correct as they go. So you're supposed to check out by 9:30 on the day that you're going to go home. And another thing you're supposed to expect is that they have prestige cars. If you're going to Nairobi or Nakuru, there are these prestige matatus, they come for you from the prayer mountain. So if you're going home tomorrow, there is that booking office. You just go there and book a vehicle for the foreign day that you are going to be checking out. You can also book as soon as you go in. You can go in on Monday and you're going to be traveling back on Wednesday. You can just go and book. But it is always advisable to book one day before. You book the time you're supposed to go out, and you can even book the seat you want. Like personally for me, or maybe the people who want a seat that is near to the windows, you can always book. There's a card there that is drawn the seats that are as they are in the car. So you can book the seat that is at the windows or in the front. Personally, I always book number one because I want to sit at the front. When you're coming from Nairobi going there, the seat between you and the driver is not occupied. But when you're going back to Nairobi, the seat that is 1B, it is always occupied, okay? So you can book even the seats, and you can book the time that you're going to be checking out so that it is easy, especially in the busy times, like the busy seasons. It is easier for the guy at the booking office to book the vehicles that are going to come for you at a certain time. So that is another thing that you're supposed to expect. Another thing that I know I have already mentioned is that you can always get hot water 24/7 outside the prayer hall, and it is readily available. Every minute you are going to be there, you can get that hot water, and it is free of charge. Okay? And you're going to get some cups around there. There is hot water and there is cold water. It is available. Another thing you're supposed to expect is that you are supposed to expect beautiful prayer grounds. Like, if you never watched that video that I did the last time I was there, you're supposed to go and watch it. I don't know whether I can refresh the video and post it again, because Heaven's Gate, I don't think there is any flower that is present in Kenya or exists in Kenya that they don't have. That mountain is beautiful. Oh my God. Outside the halls, outside the domes, outside the hostels, everywhere is flowers and some very cute vegetation that is well taken off, and it is so clean. I have never been to a place that is so clean than Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain. You're going to think it is a hotel. That place is beautiful. And even the prayer grounds, they have really done a good job. Another thing that you should not expect at Heaven's Gate is mud. You will never step on mud. Everywhere there is cabros, and there is some type of covering on the ground. Like, there is no 1 minute you're going to step on dust, unless now you go to the grounds that there is grass, and maybe it had rained the previous day, and I don't know, maybe the soil came up. Like, you don't get to interact with mud when you're there. Okay, so is there anything that I have forgotten about Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain? So another thing that you're supposed to expect at Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain that is not commonly thought is that you're going to find children. You're going to find children there. Children, some of them are so young. Okay, there are those that go with their parents because they may be breastfeeding or they are toddlers and the mothers don't have anywhere to leave them. But they are children, like children that I mean, when I say children, I mean children that are less than 12 years. Last time I was there, there were these school buses I saw when I was going in, and I thought maybe they are just women from certain churches. They came there with those school buses. They rented the buses. But you guys, I was surprised to see so many teenagers. I understand there is a conference that was going on at Nakuru church, uh, but there were so many teenagers, and most of them were men, young men, or maybe boys. I didn't expect that. I have never seen so many kids there like I saw this time. Another thing you're going to expect, or you don't expect to see there, and you're going to see there, are Muslims. Like, Heaven's Gate is for everybody. I saw many Muslims. I was not even expecting that. So another thing that happens at Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain is that there is something that we call watch hours at night. Watch hours are just some designated hours that you go and pray. There are 4 watch hours every night. After the evening service ends at around 7:30, 8, or 9. The first watch hour starts at 9 to 12, and then the second one is from to 12 to 3 a.m. And the last one is 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. I think they are three, not four. Yeah, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, and 3 to 6 a.m. So there are those 3 watch hours. You can go at any specific 3 hours of your time. You can pray. You can move around. There is no limited space, like, because of the different watch hours. Like, you are going to find there is enough space for everybody. If you are those people that pray when you are moving around, you can even go around. There's a time I went through the whole Shiro. It's a very big hall. There is even upstairs. I went all through the corridors as I was praying, and it was a good experience. Like, you can move around, but there are areas that you can't go past. Like, you can't go past the second floor outside. So you can always move around when you're praying. Another thing that you can do, maybe you have those people who pray that when you are sleeping on the ground, it is not you're not you cannot be stopped by anybody. It is allowed to pray when you are sleeping. It is allowed to pray when you are kneeling. You can do any type of prayers when you are there. The only thing that you can't do, you can't access the altar at night, because during the morning devotion or evening devotion, in case you want to go and pray at the altar with your envelope or your sacrifice or your offering, you get the chance to go there. But at night, when there is no service going on, you cannot access the altar. And I feel it's okay, because you can just go there and sleep there and get and forget that you are praying and sleep there, and it is not okay to sleep on the altar. Like, that one is a shooter. You can even pollute the air when you're there, and it is not godly. The altar is a place that you need to keep it smelling nice. Okay. Yeah, so I think that is everything that you need to know about the do's and the don'ts and what to expect at Heaven's Gate. In case there is anything that you wanted to know and I have not mentioned it, you can always go to the comment section and ask. I'm going to reply or do a video about it. So that is all we had time for. So see you on the next one. Please check out the next video. I'm going to be saying about the testimonies that I get when I go to Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain. So make sure you like this video, subscribe. After subscribing, you can always share. You can also put on the notification bell. There is a bell at the end of the subscribe button. That bell is supposed to be put on for all notifications, that every time I post a video, you're among the first people or the first person to be notified. You don't have to keep checking whether I've posted a video. You always get notified. So in case you want to find more about, want to learn more about Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain, put on the notification bell and make sure you're subscribed so that you can get a notification every time I do a video. So until the next time, love you guys.